I'm Nikki Buckley and welcome to Talk to the Animals. Now, I know we shouldn't show favourites, but I have to admit to a bit of a soft spot for these gorgeous creatures. Now, this is Tony. He's having a bit of a procedure today to help him with a very nasty itch. Oh, you didn't hear that, did you?
This week, Dr. Chris tackles a tiny critter that causes big headaches for pet owners.
The big question is your little mate besieged by these little bloodsuckers? Well, there's an easy test that'll tell you the answer.
Anthony's ordeal as keepers try to ease his itch.
Oh, Bubby.
A special visit from Snowball the alpaca, and forging friendships on an old-fashioned farm.
You know, I'm normally a pretty gentle sort of a guy. Wouldn't hurt a fly, but there's just one little thing that really bugs me.
It's Cenocephalides felis, the dreaded flea. And that's an F word no one wants to hear, especially if you're a pet owner.
So how to get on top of these rotten little critters? Well, you have to get down and dirty.
And go right down here. Yeah, keep on coming. Further, right. Down here, where they breed. Warm weather is great for enjoying more time with our pets. Unfortunately, it's also when fleas thrive.
Okay, hot weather. You can be guaranteed there are millions upon millions of fleas everywhere. But the big question is, has your little mate been besieged by these little bloodsuckers? Well, there's a simple test I can show you. The first thing you'll need is a piece of wet A4 paper. Now take that, put it next to the rump of your dog. The fleas love this area. They seem to be a lot further away from the bitey end, which is their preferred spot. So, get the rump area and rub your fingers through the coat like that. It'll flick up all sorts of pieces of dirt and debris that's sitting in their fur. Now, amongst this debris could very well be flea dirt, which is basically flea poo. In the flea poo is blood, and if there is blood, it'll run red across the paper. So I'm sorry to say, Neelix, the paper doesn't lie. You have got fleas. I'm sorry.
Once you find fleas, it's important to remember killing them is only the start. It's essential to break the breeding cycle by hitting all their secret hideouts around your home. For starters, fleas love carpet, almost as much as they love pets. Vacuuming is a chemical-free solution that will suck up thousands of flea eggs, larvae and pupae. Pet beds, rugs, doormats and furniture covers are all potential breeding grounds. So wash all these items and dry them outside in the sun.
A few years ago, flea treatments centred around these, the trusty old flea collar. And look, whilst they do work, there is new technology and a new way of managing fleas. And it's these, top spots. Small amount of liquid goes on the back of the neck. That liquid then sinks into the oils of the skin, spreads its way around the whole body, and each time a flea hops on or bites, it gets a lethal dose of that drug. But importantly, it's safe to our little mate here.
Remember, fleas are minuscule, but they're armour-plated little suckers. So you have to be vigilant to get rid of them for good. And here's a bit of trivia. They can jump 100 times their own height. That's the equivalent of a human jumping over the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
And one last thing, never ever use dog flea treatments on cats. You see, there's a chemical in dog flea treatments which is incredibly toxic to our little feline friends. So, give them their own and you'll have no problems. Good luck.
Our first contestant on this week's Woolworths Pet of the Week has a definite devilish streak. Meet the Transylvanian Tinker. Next up, it's Dolly, the Maltese with a makeover. When she said she'd like to be a redhead, we don't think this is what she had in mind. Last but not least, the Daly family think Jessie is the most adorable pooch on the planet. We must have some fashionistas on the panel this week because the winner is Dolly. Well done. That's a year's worth of Purina One on its way to this colourful canine. And if you think you've got a memorable moment caught on camera, or better yet, video, why not send it in? Check out our website for more details.
You know that expression, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours? Well, it's a whole different story when you're a giraffe with an itch.
This is Tony, and he's been itching for someone to help him. You see, this Rothschild giraffe at Werribee's Open Range Zoo is pretty much allergic to everything.
So Deb, when did you first discover that he had these allergies?
Probably about 3 or 4 years ago, we noticed these big lumps all over his body.
And did you know that it was annoying him, itching him? Like, was he seen scratching?
Absolutely, he was really itchy and just scratching on everything, almost scratching himself raw. We found a dermatologist that specialised in this area, and he came out and did some skin prick testing on Tony's belly so we could actually see what he was allergic to.
Is that similar to what they do on humans?
Very similar, yeah, almost the same, yeah.
Turns out that Tony's allergic to a heap of plants found in his natural habitat.
Is it common in the Rothschild giraffes to have these allergies?
Not necessarily in Rothschild's giraffes, but definitely within Tony's family. His son has actually got this allergy as well, so it's definitely genetically passed down.
And the news for Tony gets worse. He's even allergic to his favourite food, willow.
Good boy!
To control Tony's itch, he must have ongoing treatment, which includes a daily skin brush.
So what helps his allergies is we give him a nice brush down every morning.
Really? I'm a bit concerned about the state of the brushes.
He's a very hairy giraffe.
There's a lot of hair. You can feel the oil.
It's very oily, so that's his skin condition which makes it oily like that.
God, I'm never going to complain about my dog hair ever again.
Keeping a giraffe locked in a cage for treatment every day isn't easy. So Tony's been trained to enjoy the confinement. By touching his nose to a stick on command, he receives a heap of yummy rewards. This keeps the 15-year-old entertained and happy.
So it's really important to give them the treats that they love the most. So basically this is like giving cotton candy for kids, this is cotton candy for a giraffe.
As part of Tony's ongoing therapy, a monthly injection is also needed to keep the itch at bay.
Oh, look at him. So is this where you actually give him the injection?
This is where we give him the injection in the chute, and Brooke just tries to keep his concentration over there while I can actually sneak on in and give it to him without him knowing.
And it lasts how long?
It lasts for about 20 days.
Yeah. Does that mean towards the end of the 20 days he really starts getting itchy again?
He does. Probably about day 18, 19, we find that he's really getting due for his vaccination again. So it's only a mil, so it's a really small amount, and we just jab it straight in the skin and then straight in like that.
Oh, Bubby.
After treatment time, Tony and Kinta are let out to roam the savannah. Devoted keeper Debbie maintains a watchful eye.
So how old's Tony?
Tony's 15.
All right, and how long do they normally live for?
They normally live for about 20, 25 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 years is pretty good.
You're elderly.
He's getting on, he's getting on.
He's very pretty. They seem extremely gentle, like I'm sure they can lose it, but this is amazing.
They are, they're very placid animals, really easy to feed, and they love attention and things like that.
So what changes have you noticed in Tony since the treatment started?
He's absolutely a lot more docile because he's not, you know, scratching on everything and irritated and frustrated with his skin condition.
Yeah.
So it's calmed him down a lot. And when we first started, his skin was really bad, and now you can hardly tell he's even got it.
So I guess it brings a lot of joy to see the relief that the treatment can give them?
It does, yeah. It's really nice to see him comfortable and happy again.
Well, Tony's back on home turf, and with a little help from his friends, it looks like for now, he's got that itch scratched. Haven't you, buddy? Hey? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now let's get down to basics. When you've got 4 legs instead of 2 and you spend your whole life this close to the ground, then chances are you're going to pick up a couple of little nasties. So where should you look? Well, you should focus your attention between these toes, inside these ears, under the collar and around the face. The fact is that 80% of ticks will attach from the front legs forward. They really like it up here because down the back they run the risk of being chewed out by these chompers up here. So this is what it's going to look like. Usually in the same grain as the hair, in there around the neck. Now the temptation is just to reach in and grab it, but the thing is it's attached by a very narrow little proboscis which anchors it very firmly into the dog. So instead of doing that, get some tweezers, go right around the base of it, where it is joined into your dog, and that's its head. Instead of just pulling it straight out, actually twist it. And by twisting it, you actually release all those little spikes that are sticking into your dog. That'll enable you to remove the tick and not leave any behind. So whilst your dog might go through a few seconds of discomfort, it is going to be worth it in the long run. There you go, girl. Got rid of that nasty little hitchhiker, didn't we? Yes.
Come on, big boy. Come on. Hello.
A couple of years ago, Marion Muir decided she needed a tree change. She left the hustle and bustle of Melbourne for Violet Town in central Victoria and got herself some alpacas to keep her company.
I invested in 5 acres of land and asking many people what to put on it, what was easiest to breed and good on the soil. Well, alpacas ended up. Cattle were too big for me. Sheep I thought were too smelly.
Yeah.
And these were just perfect.
But it was one alpaca in particular that captured Marion's heart.
Now, you had a few surprises, and I believe Snowball was one of them.
Well, this was a bit of a surprise in one respect. His mum sort of abandoned him at birth, and so I hand-raised him, and he's just turned out to be an incredible little alpaca and friendly.
But Marion had a dilemma. Snowball needed regular feeds, so, with her boss's permission, she bundled him up and took him to work with her at the Violet Town Bush Nursing Centre.
I just asked if it was all right to bring him in, and because we're mostly carpeted throughout the facility, as funny as it sounds, but we had to put a nappy on him because accidents do happen.
The regular feeds and the nappy are no longer necessary, but Snowball is still making his trips into the Bush Nursing Centre.
Now, what happens when Snowball gets too big for the car, or for you to carry, for that matter?
For me to carry will be the first thing, I think. We'll just have to stop taking him. We'll put him in the trailer once a month or something to take in and maybe find a little replacement. Come on. Come on.
Until that day comes, Snowball will be the star attraction for residents like Dolly and Grace.
He's looking at us.
What do? Do you sit here and chat to him?
He gives me a kiss if I ask him to.
Does he?
Yeah. Through the window.
And what about when he was little? Did you nurse him and look after him?
Yes, I nurse him now still.
You still nurse him?
Yeah, comes and sits on my lap.
Come on. Look, who's over here? Look.
Gives a kiss.
He does like you.
It does, don't you? Yes, you do.
Snowball. No, he's too feeling something to eat.
Jack was a farmer in his day, and it's fair to say he's not that fussed about Snowball.
How old are you, Jack?
92.
92?
Yeah, only a boy.
Only young.
Yeah. I always telling the doctor I'll live to 100. Hope to Christ they don't, though.
But Jack's wife of 56 years, Evelyn, loves Snowball from the moment Marion brought him in.
Marion said she had them and she brought the baby in, you know. Well, I mean, it was a darn big baby even then at 3 days old. But everybody took an interest in him.
And Dolly doesn't care how big Snowball gets. He'll never be too big for a cuddle.
You're the best boy, you're the best boy. Yes, you are.
Did you know the Australian sea lion is a true blue Aussie, found only along parts of the western and southern coastline? You can pick their sex by their colour. Males have dark brown fur with pale necks, and females have grey fur on their back and creamy fur on their front. Pups are born with a chocolate brown fur, which is lost after the first molting. Talk about big eaters. These guys spend about 3 days non-stop at sea searching for food. Then they return to land for a well-deserved rest. There are only about 10,000 Australian sea lions left, making them one of the rarest seal species in the world.
Farming changed forever when technology took over. But wait, it is the same as it was here in Victoria's Western Port Bay.
That's the girls. Up you go.
Stella and Sophie have been working the land here on Churchill Island just like the European settlers would have done all those years ago. And everyone has a chance to get involved. This is Victoria's first official farm. It's a place where animals are the centre of life, just as they were in the 1850s.
She likes to be the boss if she can get away with it. So you got the lead?
She's a woman.
Just bring. I wouldn't be dare saying something like that.
So how many times have you been trodden on?
Once or twice.
Gordon Brown manages the working farm, sharing a lifetime of farming knowledge.
So that's why we put the rope there. Just put a little knot in the tail, because if you don't, I'll just show you what I do. Just behind you, I hook it on the wall. Oh. Otherwise, you get swished around the face. And
you have thought of everything, Gordon.
I wouldn't like that to happen to you.
Rather than doing it.
You're a natural, Sally.
Am I? Not hurting her?
No, well, she would be objecting if you were hurting her.
55,000 visitors experience a taste of traditional farm life every year.
There we go, I'll hold it.
Goodness. I've never had milk like this before.
Well, you won't forget this. You don't get fresh milk. Okay. You didn't fill it up very much. You're welcome to a full glass if you like, Sally.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Tabitha.
Now you must tell us what it tastes like.
Tabitha's milk is also popular in the animal nursery.
I told you they're keen. They're in your face.
They're not patient at all.
That's because they like it.
All the animals here get a lot of TLC and they respond in kind. Are you going to give me a kiss? Actually, you're going to chew my hair. Oh, that can't taste good. Rose is an Ayrshire calf, fostered by Tabitha.
Look up. Oh, you're good. Look at the eye. Look. Oh, I love that, she says. See the eye closing? That's contentment, happiness, isn't it? Lift your chin up. Give us a kiss. Give us a kiss.
Most of these animals were born here, much to the delight of visitors. At the moment, there's a clucky chook sitting on eggs.
She's got about a week to go, and then from there they go over to the hutch behind you, and the guys that are walking, Ray likes to say hello. Oh, get away, get away. Oh, there you go, that'll teach you, won't it? Hi, steady.
The hay's been cut, thanks to Sophie and Stella, and the Highland Scottish calves are ready for a bit of fun.
Oh, go easy there, guys. Go easy. How are you getting on there? You want me to take the bucket?
No, I'm okay.
You're right.
This little one hasn't had much though, so I'd like him to have a bit more.
I like this equal quantity business.
Churchill Island reminds us of the debt we owe to farm animals. And passionate farmers like Gordon work to ensure we will always remember.
In the bigger commercial environment, you can't always treat them like part of the family. Everything that lives here, it's like a little heaven for them. They do it really well, don't you, little fella?
Hi, I'm Dr. Danny Dusek from Bondi Vet. If you love our show and want to see more, plus some amazing content about pets and how to care for them, hit the subscribe button. Click that little notification bell and we'll see you on our next video.